Hello and welcome to the Avalanche Creative SEO and Content Strategy Process presentation. This is me right here, Lance Boudry, together with my wife, Rayanne Boudry. We are co-owners of Avalanche Creative in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Just setting the stage of what we do and why. We do SEO, content strategy, and content marketing to attract and convert website visitors. And we also do some WordPress and web development. So the goals of this presentation are pretty simple. Understand how Google thinks, empathize with your customers through SEO, and get to learn how to determine a total market size and website value, and defend yourself against snake oil and bad SEO processes. We want to educate. That is a core company value, and we hope you learn from this. All right, we're going to dive right in to what is SEO. It is the practice of increasing the quantity and quality of traffic to your website through organic search results. Organic being anything that's not ads. So if you see this screenshot right here, this right here is an ad. Everything else is organic, even this map pack right here, as we call it. The reason we love SEO is because search signals intent to buy based on the keywords or the language that people use when they search. And top results are deemed authorities. Nobody's going to page 2, so you got to get to the top. And people trust people on the top. And then finally, search can actually inform content strategy. If you do your research really well, which we'll get into, you know what your customers are actually looking for, what you can do to attract them on social media, email, even in person. So how does it work? We put SEO into 3 buckets: relevancy, trust, and technical. Relevancy is, does the content on the page of one of your site match the keyword or the search that somebody makes? Trust is factors like reviews or backlinks on your site. Do other people say, yeah, they know what they're doing? And then technical is, how's the experience on your website? Is it mobile friendly? Does it load fast? Things like that. There are literally hundreds that fall into each one of those things, but it's just good to know that these are things that Google cares about. But what we always tell people is just focus on the searcher, focus on the user experience and their intent behind their search, and care more about them. So we're going to use an example right here. Pretend you're searching for a wedding cake near you. That relevancy. I could easily just put a page on my website and say, yeah, I'm a wedding cake vendor in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And Google would probably put me somewhere on Google for that search. But what really matters is the context. Think about searching for that. You have other questions after you find a vendor, right? What's the price of wedding cakes? What different cakes do you offer? What different frostings do you offer? Do you deliver the cakes? You get the idea. And this right here is just a kind of a visual representation of the different ways that people are searching for things related to wedding cake. All of these terms here that you see include the term wedding cake. So using something like this, you can start to get an idea of, hey, what kind of content do we need to be relevant and helpful to the user? Next is trust. So Google cares about things like reviews. And you can see here that somebody searches wedding cake vendor near me. Here's a few different companies with a lot of pretty good reviews, and you even have somebody's review showing up here, and one of those keywords is bolded, wedding cake. OMG, I purchased my wedding cake. And one other thing we like to point out is how important the search engine results page is. So this right here is called your meta title or page title. And not optimizing it, you are losing out on business. Look at the difference between this one and this one. This call to action is fantastic. You already know what this one offers over this one. Free tastings, who wouldn't want that? So at the end of the day, we're going to overemphasize this always. Focus on the searcher and care more. So now we're going to go into our process a little bit. 2 things we're always saying are plan the work and then work the plan. And you can't improve what you don't first measure. So just setting the stage, what is content strategy? It's really finding the intersection of your expertise and the questions, the pain, the problems that your customers are asking, and then developing quality content to attract them. So the process is simple. We plan, measure, build, learn, and continue to do that process over and over again. So customer and keyword research is the first part of plan. Here is a quick little screenshot of our process. Essentially what we're doing is going through some procedures, some documents to help us do a better job of keyword research. And the best way to do that is talk to your customer, listen to them, get to know them better. And that is going to help us build either a local or a national SEO standard operating procedure, which is just a highly executable plan for dominating the search engines. So what we always tell people to do in order to do really good keyword research, you know what you sell, your products or services, but there's other ways that you can help your customers and attract them to you. We go through these in order to investigate and empathize and gain some empathy for the different ways that your customers can come to know you or interact with your website. So you create a buyer's journey. You understand how can they possibly come to know of our business. So shifting gears to a new example, we're going to pretend we have a website where we're trying to sell cabinet knobs. So you can see here, when I put this into our keyword research tool, there's tons of different ways that people are searching for cabinet knobs. Cabinet knobs, that term by itself gets searched 18,000 times per month. But if we drill down a little bit further, brushed nickel cabinet knobs only get searched 1,600. You might be more attracted if you sell cabinet knobs to the 18,000, but the reality is the only way you're ever going to dominate and get #1 or even in the top 5 results of cabinet knobs is by focusing on the lower stuff and becoming the expert, having the best, most relevant, trusted, and technical, a good user experience. So to break this down a little bit further, okay, how do we start to rank for cabinet knobs? What's the strategy? Well, look at the questions that people have in relation to cabinet knobs. So here we're going to just look at how to install cabinet knobs. It gets searched 480 times per month on average. So that's really important. That has a lot to do with our product. It's a good piece of content. We want to go after that. So once we've determined all of the keywords that we want to go after, we put them into a list, and you can actually do something called keyword mapping where you can get an idea of, hey, is this investable? Is it worth it for my business to invest in SEO and content strategy in order to get a return and grow my business? So you can see here that we've grouped some of these keywords into the category of cabinet knobs. This isn't a full list, obviously, but this is monthly search volume total right here. And then we have the expected click-through rate of the top 5 results. So if we were to get in the top 5 for all these search terms, we would estimate 30% of this total would click through, or about 1,100 people would make it to your website. Then we know there could be an expected conversion rate of 3%, which means 33 people on average every month are buying cabinet knobs, and you know, hey, I've got an order value that's about $100, and I make $50 after that. So you can really run the table and say, hey, this is worth it to my business. So the next step is measure. Once you've done really thorough keyword research, look at all the ways that you can attract people to your website through the search engines. You put in your keywords to see where you are today, and then add in your competitors, because what will happen is you'll find opportunities where, hey, 3 of my competitors are showing up, but I'm not. That obviously means something's missing on your site. Or maybe you found a really good keyword, but none of your competitors are showing up. If you don't do a good job of measuring, you don't even know where to start in your process. And this is actually where we just uncover tons of great opportunities for quick wins. Now, a lot of people say SEO takes a long time, and that's mostly true. But every once in a while, you find something that just helps you get results quickly. But at the end of the day, tracking keywords is not really the most important thing. It's tracking conversions. It's tracking your goals, whether that's getting calls or form fills or sales, whatever it is. So that should be the focus when you're measuring anything. Next is the build process. That's where we say, okay, hey, we've picked the right keywords. Now, what content do we need to create, and how are we going to create it? Well, you can kind of take a little bit of that guesswork out by benchmarking or kind of finding who has the bar, who's setting the bar, who's #1 for the keywords you want to go after. So in our example of how to install cabinet knobs, we can get an idea of how are people searching for cabinet knobs? What other language are they using? Who dominates right now? And how can we do a better job? How can we build what's called skyscraper content? a much higher level with more helpful information, more relevancy, more tools. You get the idea. Just better. And to figure out, okay, what kind of format should our content actually take for how to install cabinet knobs, right? Content isn't just a blog post anymore. It's video, it's images, it's a calculator, it's quizzes, it's so many different things. But you should take the guesswork out of it and let Google help you figure out what other formats your content should take. So you can actually filter by the search engine results page features. So sometimes when you Google something like a how-to, like a how to install cabinet knobs, you might see a video. You've probably seen this before. So if that's true for a keyword you're going after, you're going to want to have a video. So let's pretend you just published that amazing post on how to install cabinet knobs and it lives on your blog post. Great. But how can you add more context to your website? Where else can you put it to help the user experience? If you actually sell cabinet knobs, put it on all of your cabinet knob pages, because guess what? If people are going to buy cabinet knobs, they're going to want to know, a lot of them are going to want to know how to install them. And Google loves this. They love to see that internal linking. They love to see that, wow, that page is going to be so helpful to the user because it has all this great information. This is how you slowly, over time, begin to dominate in the cabinet knob space. And then last but not least is learn. You have to constantly be measuring what you're doing. If you're adding content, publishing content, see what changes are happening. Go out and promote your content all over in social media. Try to acquire good backlinks. But at the end of the day, data needs to drive decision making. Figure out where your conversions are coming from and analyze this information so you can continually be better at search engine optimization and content. Now, the process is all about getting results, and those results are to attract new customers to your site, convert new customers, and then one of the most important things, build brand equity. The people that dominate the search engines are also building a brand offline, because what happens is when you begin to dominate your space and you're the authority, the expert on your topics, people will talk about you. They'll share links in messengers, and they'll talk about you offline. It's just incredibly powerful. So if you have any questions, we love to answer them. We love to geek out about this stuff, and we love to get to know your industry. So feel free to email me at lance@avalanchegr.com, or just visit avalanchegr.com. We share everything we know on our blog.